Hi, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another movie review. I recently got to see Frankenweenie, and I'd seen the original, but the original to me was just a bit depressing, and I really didn't care for it that much, even though I'm a huge Tim Burton fan. And first of all, I was really excited with the voice casting because I thought that the voice casting was superb. But there are a lot of B movie references in this film, and I could name all of them for you, but I really don't want to spoil the film too terribly much. But from the title of the movie, you know that it's going to be a takeoff on Frankenstein, and you get that from Victor himself and his parents and Edward Igor, who later becomes his partner in the movie. And I love Edward. He's just an incredible character, and he's got a lot of funny lines. In fact, his lines are probably some of the funniest in the film. Um, I was surprised at how heartwarming it was. I even cried, and I thought, I'm crying in a horror movie. I've never done that before. It's not really a horror film, but it's a B movie done in the classic nostalgic style of the era. It feels much like 1960s or 1970s um, type of movie. And I like the fact that it was in black and white because I'm a big fan of B movies, and B movies have always been an enjoyment for me, and I usually watch them around this time of the year. So this brought back quite a bit of my childhood. Um, and there are so many different culture references in this film that are very clever and quippy and witty and just marvelously done. And there are lots of good laughs and really good lessons here, especially from Dr. Ryzen Crispy. He, I'm not sure whether he was Slavic or where exactly he was from. I'm assuming maybe Poland as the last name, but he said many scientists came from his country. I thought, Poland. So I don't know why I made that connection, but there are a lot of scientists from Poland, so I just had to mention that. He has a very memorable line that I really enjoyed, and he says, "Science is not what you feel of here; it's what you feel in here." And the very idea that you ask questions is what makes you a scientist. He's talking to Victor at this time about his experiments, and I just that scene in and of itself made the movie for me. I just loved it. And the weird girl was she was a magnificent character. She was just an oddball character who didn't really speak that much and was just kind of out there and spooky and cute. She was also cute in her little odd gothic way and macabre. And Mr. Whiskers, oh, so funny. He has this psychic ability to predict things through his poop. And yeah, there are some funny things that happen with that, and you see that in the trailer, but it's actually kind of misleading in the trailer because it comes out as a skull and crossbones. But in in the movie, it's actually a little bit more clever in the way that it's done. It's just very innovative and different, and he lovingly parodies these other films that have been out, and there were a lot of things that made me giggle quite a bit, even though it was a little bit morbid. But that's just the kind of humor, and it's very enjoyable. Um, I loved all the references. I got all the references. They even had a reference to Greek mythology, which I don't know if the uninitiated would have gotten that right away or not, but it was done in such a way that it's not overt at all, but if you read Greek mythology, then you understand why he chose that name for this certain character. And of course, Elsa is the next door neighbor, and the mayor, her uncle, is voiced by Martin Short, which I found very different and very surprising because I had never heard Martin do a villain. He's not really a villain per se. He's kind of that neighbor that creeps you out a little bit and you don't really like him because he's gruff and curmudgeonly and just doesn't really have any um compassion, it seems. He's just plain mean. Let me just put it that way. Um he played a very convincing villain in this one, I thought. And he has a transformation which I thought was really beautiful, and it's done in a very subtle way, but it's really well played. And I liked all the characters, especially Victor. I could relate to Victor so much. Victor really doesn't have very many friends, and when I was going through school, I was kind of a loner myself. I had a few friends, but I wasn't really invited to go anywhere or do anything. I didn't really fit in, and I still don't fit in. I still have people that I can count on and talk to, but no real friends my own age, and it's kind of difficult. But um, I do admit that um, I get along in this world, even though it's a little bit unusual at times, and I am a bit offbeat, but it's okay. I mean, it's not a bad thing to be offbeat. And Victor in this movie is extremely offbeat, and he's very curious, and he's inquisitive about the nature of the world itself, and he wants to ask questions, and this is good, and that should be encouraged in children, and they shouldn't be limited. They should allow their ingenuity to take over and just let their imagination soar. And the mind is the most important thing. Like Einstein said, imagination is power. Um, I thought this movie was absolutely incredible. I mean, the stop motion was just amazing. I love stop motion. I've been a fan of stop motion since I was a young girl. It's always fascinated me, and it just takes forever to do. And the way that they do stop motion now, it's less jerky and more fluid. And it's hard to tell that somebody's been actually animating it and moving the characters around, and it's detailed and meticulously done. It's really quite sensational, and I love that kind of noir, ominous tone that it has, and it's got a couple of really good scary moments that I enjoyed. I mean, I knew they were coming, but I still got a little bit of a jump and a scare from it, so it was enjoyable. Um, Beautifully made film, heartwarming, funny, just enjoyable. And Sparky as a character, as Victor's dog, I just love Sparky to death. Sparky kind of reminds me of my own youngest dog, Spike. And I'm wondering if that's the type of dog that Sparky was, if it was a Chihuahua or not, because he looks a lot like a Chihuahua, or it could have been a terrier, a rat terrier maybe, or a kind of trying to figure out. Uh, I think he was a bull terrier. Yeah, he's a bull terrier definitely. Had to be because he had that kind of bull terrier muzzle and head and body. Small dog, but same kind of dimensions. And it just reminded me so much of my own dog. Um, and I like it because I'm an animal lover, of course, and it just takes on so many different angles of B movies that I just absolutely love it. And it was done in such a way that was just really remarkable, I thought. Um, my dad, he enjoyed it and he was touched by it, but he really wasn't, that bowled over by it. But I absolutely adored it. I give it 3.5. 3.5 out of 4. Two thumbs up. Tim Burton, I think, has made another masterpiece. This is absolutely tremendous cinema. I know he did a lot of parodying, but he did so lovingly. And if you're a B movie fan like me, I'm like, oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know what that is. Oh, I know where he got that muse from. Oh, I know where he picked that out from. Ah, I know that culture reference. Oh, yeah, that's. Some of them are pretty obvious. Some of them are more subversive and covert in the way that he planned them out. Um, it's just really a good family film. I wouldn't recommend it for those who are really young because they might be really scared and they might have some issues with the thematic nature of the whole film due to what happens to Sparky. I'm not going to say what, but it's heartrending when it does. Um, if you have teens or tweens, I think they'll be okay because they probably know about the the cycle we all go through. I'm not really sure what else to say other than I absolutely adored this movie, and it gave me quite a bit of ideas that I can use for the stories I'm working on, because I'm in that kind of horror writing mood. Um, and as soon as they're posted, I'll let you know. But right now, I have posted Beatbox of Doom, which is on I'm getting an accent, fanfiction.net. I'm also working on a script. It's called Gardener's Detective Agency. It's kind of it's a comedy. I'm also kind of working on fan fiction that combines Family Matters and Sonic the Hedgehog. It actually wasn't my idea because it wouldn't have been my idea. I've outgrown Family Matters. I enjoyed it when I was a child. Guilty as charged. But I just really am not too terribly concerned with Family Matters anymore. It's just, something that I know that I enjoyed when I was little, but I probably wouldn't be able to sit through one of the episodes now if you forced me to, tie me in a chair and said, watch this! I would say, no! But no, I would try to kick you and bite and scream and get away as soon as possible. Be warned. But other than that, I can say that I've been enjoying writing the fanfic. It's been a lot of fun because I've gotten to use my knowledge or my growing knowledge of theoretical physics toward my advantage. Thanks to watching the sliders. Yay! Um, so I put in a little bit about my love of sliders into that fanfic. I'm also working on a story about a succubus. But yeah, he probably got that idea from Lost Girl, more than likely. Except this succubus knows that she's a succubus, and she feeds off the energy of people, and they die. Yeah, she bathes in their blood and all that stuff to remain youthful. And my main character is a hunter of the paranormal. And I will also be writing Terror Ball, which I can't remember what Terror Ball is about, but I'll have to get to that eventually. But like I said, I'm in a horror writing mood, so I'll be writing lots of horror stories. But I never really thought I could write horror that well because I'm more into comedy and sci-fi, fantasy, romance, and parodies. So that's pretty much what I work with um, on a daily basis. But that's all I'm going to have to. That's basically all my updates for now. So I will keep you in the loop, and you shall be informed. I guarantee it. So until then, ciao.